go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms.
Okay, so good morning to you, our dear listeners out there. How are you? Good morning. Well, it's a beautiful Monday morning from our studio here at the Power 365 online radio here in the city of Ibadan. We're broadcasting live from Felele, Ibadan, and my name is Olamide Adeniji, and I'll be your host for this morning's newspaper review, coming to you live from our studios. Alright, so very quickly, let me bring you this first story, which is saying, okay, just a minute. Okay, so our first story is here, and the first story is saying, physically challenged Nigerian faces deportation after living in UK for 38 years. Wow. That's quite interesting. And then this is also saying, ex-senator calls for establishment of food intelligence agency. And this next story is saying, Iran vice president to replace Raisi ahead of election. One student dies as fire guts Anambra Seminary School. And the state media confirm Iran's president, others dead in helicopter crash. Oh, that's so sad. That's a sad one. And this is from NNPC. Oil production nears 1.7 mbpd. Dangote petrol supply, federal government may slash 6 trillion naira fuel import. NLC unaware of Labour Party merger talks ahead of 2027. That's coming from Ajero. 8 manufacturers suffer 627 billion naira forex losses. Workers will rather work for free than accept 48,000 naira. That's coming from NLC. Okay, let me start from that NLC story, which is one of the things that is really that has been on the headlines in recent days. Okay, so this is the background to it. The Nigerian Labour Congress has been they've been on talks, major talks with the federal government to ensure that the federal government gives workers 615,000 naira as minimum wage, and with this, the federal government, rather than accepting it, the federal government last week told the NLC that all they can offer workers is 48,000 naira minimum wage. And this infuriated the leaders of the organized labor, comprising of NLC and TUC, and they walked out of that negotiation meeting. So this is another story coming from them, which is saying workers will rather work for free than accept 48,000 naira. NLC. The Nigerian Labour Congress was warned that it would rather mobilize workers to remain at home with their families or offer free services than accept the paltry 48,000 naira minimum wage being offered by the federal government when they meet on Tuesday. The Deputy President of the NLC Political Commission, Professor Theophilus Ndubuaka, disclosed this in an exclusive interview with the Punch newspaper on Sunday. On Wednesday, the NLC and the Trade Union Congress had walked away from the negotiation table after the federal government offered to pay 48,000 naira, a figure far below 615,000 naira the unions demanded as a new national minimum wage. Okay, so let me quickly go to Iran, where the president has been confirmed dead. Okay, so Iran's first vice president, Mohammad Mokbar, is expected to assume the presidency after Ibrahim Raisi's death in a helicopter crash as the country gears up for early elections. The Iranian constitution stipulates that the first vice president takes over in the event of the president's death, dismissal, resignation, absence, or illness for more than 2 months. Raisi, who died on Sunday, along with Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian and other officials, was nearing the end of his first 4-year term as president. Mokbar's interim appointment requires the approval of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has the final word in all state affairs. Okay, so which means they're probably they're practicing a monarchical system of government in Iran. Okay, so read more of the story. It's on the Punch newspaper. Presidential elections to pick a permanent successor are to be held within 50 days according to the constitution. Okay, let me quickly take you to UK, where this is saying a disabled Nigerian man who has resided in the UK for 38 years is facing the prospect of being forcibly removed from the country by the Home Office, The Guardian UK reports. Anthony Olubumi George, now 61 years old, arrived in the UK at the age of 24 back in 1986 from Nigeria. Since then, he has remained in the UK and, according to The Guardian, has a clean record with no criminal convictions. In 2019, he experienced 2 strokes that had a significant impact on his ability to speak and move. According to George, he no longer has any immediate relatives residing in Nigeria. He is said to have faced numerous episodes of homelessness and admitted that he has lost track of the countless friends who have sheltered him over the years. This is a sad story about a Nigerian who is residing in the UK and was facing a possible deportation after living in the UK for 38 good years. Okay, let me take you to this next one, which is saying one student dies as Anambra fire got Anambra Seminary School. One person died and several properties were damaged when a fire broke out at the Bishop Crowder Memorial Seminary School, Awka, Anambra State capital. The cause of the fire has yet to be ascertained, but it was gathered that the incident occurred around 11:30 on Saturday. It was also gathered that the fire damaged the school's hostel, including mattresses and other students' belongings. The victim, a student who died in the accident, was said to have been taken to a mortuary. May God repose his soul. And this is also saying an ex-minister, a former senator who represents Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone, Emmanuel Onwe, has called for the establishment of the proposed Food Intelligence Agency to support the recent federal government declaration of emergency in food production and security. Onwe made the call on Sunday in Enugu while briefing journalists on his open letter to President Bola Tinubu titled Declaration of a State of Emergency on Food Security and Commodification of Naira using cassava. What can I do for my country? He noted that the declaration of a state of emergency on food security should have galvanized mass action in agricultural practices that would have pushed the FIA agency into action to rescue the nation from food inflation, hunger, and outright population starvation. All right, so that's it from the Punch newspaper. Ex-senator calls for establishment of Food Intelligence Agency. Okay, so there's this story on our dear earpiece, which is facing some issues in the UK. This story is saying UK regulator reports earpiece over alleged safety in violation. The United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority has written Nigeria's Civil Aviation Authority stating earpiece has reportedly violated some aviation safety regulations. The development came barely 3 months after the Nigerian carrier commenced the Lagos to London route. 2 mandatory occurrence reports on earpiece had been reportedly sent to the United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority. The UKCAA in turn forwarded the complaint to the NCAA. The CAA's letter of complaint forwarded to NCAA was entitled United Kingdom SAFA Ramp Inspection Report with reference number CAA UK 2024-0217 and NATS Management System Safety Report. Alright, so let me quickly dash to the Daily Independent before I call it a day. And this is saying, still on aviation, airlines, Interior Ministry violating expatriate quota. That's coming from NAAPE. Reconcile aggrieved APC members, Rep Speaker tells Ganduje. Tinubu raises committee on green economic initiatives, offer Ngelale fresh appointment. Serap sues Wike governors over failure to account for FAC allocations. Tinubu appoints InfraCorp lead developer of Nigeria's evergreen city. NDLEA declares India-based Nigerian couple wanted, nabs 70-year-old grandpa. Helicopter carrying Iran's president Raisi crashes, search underway. There's a news that's making rounds that the man has been confirmed dead and his vice has taken over. Obi visits victims of Kano mosque attack. Lagos Deputy Governor emphasizes culture's role in self-discovery, empowerment. Kogi Ododo commiserates with Ogbe community over killing of 2. Oyo lawmaker comments Makinde on Oludo Bridge. The lawmaker representing Lagelu State constituency in Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Akintunde Olajide, has extolled the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, for his laudable dreams of bringing light of democracy into the doorsteps of every individual in Oyo State. Okay, that's an interesting read. You may pick a copy of the Daily Independent to read more on that. And this is saying 60th anniversary NAF highlights importance of research, development to operational effectiveness. Okay, this is saying Nigeria's Adekeye emerges chairperson APPO training director. And this is saying CCECC hands over phase 1 of $50 million worth of transportation university Daura to federal government. Ogun APC hits Daniel over statement on agro-cargo airport. Others. In Ogun State, you know that the governor and former governor Benga Daniel have been on loggerheads. They've not been on good terms. Okay, so let me bring this next one to you. This next one is saying still on Daily Independent. It's saying Inter-Society calls for reformation of electoral voting process in Nigeria. Oguni oil resumption. Mossop warns against alleged plots to jeopardize process. Ogun APC hits Daniel. Okay, I've read that to you. We want to operate in digital currency transactions. ABCON tells SEC. You're taking sides in our internal crisis. NNPP accuses INEC. Okay, let me read that to you. The new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of taking sides in its internal crisis. The party, in a statement on Sunday signed by its National Secretary, Comrade Ogini Yakubu, to look into the alleged attendance of its splinter group convention by the commission staff, even when they were served with court notice challenging the illegal convention. Alright, you may read more of that. I'll take a quick break. When I return, I'll bring you more news.
Following us on all our social media platforms: on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms: on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365.
Alright, you're welcome back. This is still Power365 Online Radio. Obaseki mourns ex-Edo Health Commissioner Erege. The Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has mourned the passing of a former Commissioner for Health, Professor Ayuwa Erege. The late Professor Erege served as commissioner under the administration of Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. Okay, you may read more of that story on page 5 of the Daily Independent. Tinubu appoints Infracorp lead developer of Nigeria's evergreen city. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of the Infrastructural Corporation of Nigeria (Infracorp) as the lead arranger and developer of the Evergreen City, Nigeria's Green Industrial Zone. Helicopter carrying Iran President Raisi crashes search underway. NDLEA declares India-based Nigerian couple wanted now 70-year-old grandpa. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA has declared a couple, Kazim Omoguriola Owolade and Rashidat Akinke Owolade, wanted for running a cocaine cartel from India. This follows the arrest of 4 members of the syndicate in Lagos, where a sports utility vehicle was recovered and 2 houses traced to them were sealed for forfeiture to the federal government. This was made known in a statement signed by the agency's spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday. Okay, so you may read more of that story. It's also on Daily Independent. There are so many stories on the news tonight. Okay, congratulations to Man City fans and congratulations to Arsenal fans. All win na win, all cup na cup. Yeah, Man City fans, congratulations. History made as Man City win unprecedented 4th straight EPL title. Yes, I'm under pressure to win Olympic gold medal in Paris. That's coming from Amuson. Mbappe visits to morning Tijani Babangida make 1 million naira donation. Ex-Super Eagles Kingsley Udo urges Finidi to invite NPFL players. Ida, we want to use Rivers International Marathon to celebrate Governor Fubara. Yes, so these stories and more are on the news tonight. This morning, do ensure that you pick a copy of the Daily Independent and a copy of the Punch newspaper to grab more on these stories. Until when next you hear from me, do have a blessed day. Do have a good day at work. Yes, because I believe it's a Monday and I believe strongly that you are at work. So at this juncture, I'll call it a wrap and I'll say goodbye. Thank you.
On our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source